I'll give you a little advice on the runes and clear up some anomalies. People get ideas like how to cut them, or what they call staining them, and they get it from a few verses that may have shown up in like the Havamal or a rune poem. Keep in mind that these are not the only techniques and methods, and that rune casting is much easier. Don't worry how you're going to carve it. Just carve the damn thing. Or take a marker and draw it, even just trace it with your fingertips. If you're really working with the runes, you don't need to go through a lot of mechanical activity. Just put the thing on there. That's all it takes. You know, all this fancy, they say how to stain them. Stain my ass. Just do it. Staining, yeah, what are you doing? Making a piece of art? You know, wood burning class? Nonsense. Just do it. Use your runes. Do it. If you don't have a pen, use a magic marker. You can do it on paper or on wood. If you want to feel like doing it on wood, you want to get fancy, go ahead, but you don't have to. When I was in Norway, I went to the Rune Museum at the Bryggen in Bergen, Norway, and where they had actual examples. And I looked into these because, I mean, these are things that people actually did. It's not something that some Christian recorded 300 years after the Viking Age in a book. And they carved them any way they could. They scratched them, they poured beer on them sometimes, but, you know, did they pour it or spill it? I mean, it's Norwegians, come on. You know how those people get when they get tanked? Well, yeah, because we got relatives. Unbelievable, you know. Don't worry about that. Just carve it, cut it, whatever. Nothing fancy. Think of the result. Don't get caught. You know, in ceremonial magic you get that, where you get caught in the little peculiarities. This has to be at a 30-degree angle. By the time you get it done, what's the point? You lose sight of what you're doing it for. Just do the thing. Do it. Don't worry about the trivial stuff. Just do it. Another thing about the runes, they have this thing of reversed runes, and they say, well, there's, you know, morons who think that if a rune is reversed, it reverses the meaning. And yet look at the old original rune sticks, like you find in Bergen and other places. That doesn't mean that at all. This nonsense of reversed meanings comes from, like, the nonsense of modern tarot systems. It's a relatively recent thing. I learned an older system of tarot, by the way, where in the old systems you didn't use the reversed meanings. It didn't mean nothing. There's 78 cards in there, that's all you need. With the runes, 24 runes. For every rune that means one thing, there's a rune that'll do the opposite. The reverse meanings are useful. So whether you're reversing them in a reading or you're reversing them cutting a sigil, it doesn't mean anything. It's still the rune. Basic backwards, forwards, upside down. If it's a Rado rune, Rado is Rado. It doesn't become anti-Rado or non-Rado just because you reverse the way you drew it. All you do when you reverse it, it's screwy writing, you know. Makes me wonder if you're not a screwball doing it. Don't worry about it. Just do the job. Any way you get the runes on there, get them. It's as simple as that. Too many people complicate this because a lot of people came to what we're doing by way of ceremonial magic and stuff like that, where complexity is considered an art form. In natural magic, and this is a natural magic system, complexity is considered a waste of energy. The Norse tradition, the German tradition, the Anglo-Saxon tradition is like a bow and arrow. We're not going here and there, we're going straight, direct. Lock on target and hit. Don't waste time. Lock and load, fire it. That's how runes are used. Forget all these little nuances and things. They're really ridiculous. And to those of us who've been doing this for many years, they're about as useless as tits on a bull. Do what you gotta do. And again, as I always say, if you get good with the runes within, you get to know them. They become part of you. You feel them in your gut. You feel them in your heart. You got them in your mind. No matter what you do, just having that consciousness, you're going to make sure you do it right. This is Uncle Thor, wishing you luck with your studies. Keep it simple, keep it direct, fire for effect. Have a good one.